The New England Patriots just got a big South Beach gift. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. On the daily Patriots content, don't miss out. All you got to do is subscribe, notification bell, boom, hit the like button. Take you 2 seconds. Truly appreciate it. We already know, as Patriots fans, watching teams in the AFC East and seeing the Miami Dolphins get absolutely pantsed, their shirt just put right over their head, pushed over. It was rough to watch. It was rough to watch. And all at the behest of your boy, Danny Dimes. Crazy. But the Miami Dolphins going into a home game against the Patriots, they want to get a W. We understand that. But one thing that is going against them is their injury report. We're going to jump into that. Something a little different than we talked about the other day. Yes, obviously you talk about that offensive line that is going to be a struggle on the right side. But also, too, some other news we got to jump into as well. We will be talking about the bummer of the injury report for the Patriots. And then we got to talk about Vegas odds just because it's fun and the game's coming up sooner than you think. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, Darren Waller will not be playing for a second straight game. All right, last week, Tanner Conner played. Had, I believe, 2 receptions, maybe even 1 reception. I think it was 2 for 20 yards. Nothing to write home about. That whole offense, nothing to write home about, which is crazy with the amount of weapons they have. But good to know their starting tight end not going to be out there. Something that, again, we're going to get into how Christian Gonzalez is not in, and that's going to be a huge detriment to this Patriots team. But one last person to be incredibly stressed about, not saying you shouldn't be stressed about Tanner Conner. Obviously, he's a professional tight end. He is an athlete. But looking at a former Pro Bowler in Waller, it's good that he's not playing. I'm never condoning injury. We'll never say that, hey, I'm glad this person got injured. But everyone knows if someone's injured on the other team, going into that next game, it bodes well for the team who's playing the team that has big people injured. And obviously you're like, Aaron, you're an idiot. Christian Gonzalez is injured. As I said, we will get into that in a minute. I'm not saying that is a good thing. No, for the Dolphins, definitely is. But if you forgot about Darren Waller actually retired last year. The year before that, 2023, was with the Giants. And then he had about a 5-year stretch with the Raiders where he made the Pro Bowl. So, again, he's had his time. Hasn't had the best quarterbacks. I'll give him that. Tip my hat to him on that. But that bodes well for the Patriots as well. You look at the right side of the line. We've talked about this not too long ago, where we look at Jackson Daniels, that right side. Let's not forget that Tua is left-handed, so that right side would be what? His blind side. And so again, K'Lavon Chaisson, expect him and Harold Landry to get pressure. Expect big things out of them. I would be surprised if Mike Vrabel and Zach Core did not really focus in on this right side and trying just to wreak absolute havoc on these second string guys that are going to be coming in. So again, it only bodes well for the Patriots in these areas. And if we remember anything from last week about the Dolphins game, what was the biggest issue for them? Pressure on Tua. Tua would panic. He would pressure. He wouldn't get his first read, and it was donezo. It was rough. It was not ideal. If the Patriots can mimic that, good things can happen for the Patriots. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, they got to put up points. We know that. We've talked about that as well. But again, a gift from South Beach hearing, hey, they have issues on their offensive line. Their tight end and Waller's not going to be out there for a second straight week. So that should only bode well for the Patriots going into this game where I would tell you it is a must win. You're laughing at me saying, Aaron, it's week 2. No, listen, every game is a must win game. Every game's a must-win game. You should never go in with a mentality that you're like, hey, we could lose this game and it wouldn't be a big deal. No, you go in and you try to win the game. Again, I will tell you this. Laugh at Gerard Mayo all you want last year. But even as a professional coach, you can't go into that Bills game last year at the end of the season and say, okay, we're going to lose because we want the first overall pick. I get it. It's a weird situation. But you're not going to tell your team that you're trying to build up the culture and say, hey, let's go out and lose this game. I don't know if I respect a coach for doing that. I truly don't. Comment below. You might disagree. Comment below. What do you think about these injuries? What are your thoughts? Would love to hear from you. Again, I think it's only bodes well for the Patriots. Now, to the upsetting news. Keon White, Christian Gonzalez ruled out for their matchup in South Beach against the Dolphins. Not ideal. Keon White been suffering from an illness. Christian Gonzalez, we know, has had a nagging, hamstring injury since training camp. It's not ideal. Keon White, rotational player right now, getting obviously off the edge, but Chason and Harold Landry, expect a lot out of them, as I have said. So I'm not as concerned as White as I am about Christian Gonzalez, and especially too since the Dolphins have Jalen Waddle will most likely be playing and set for the matchup against the Patriots, and then pairing him up obviously with Tyreek Hill is not ideal. But again, you got to trust the people who are in there, in Davis and Marcus Jones and Alex Austin, Hawkins, as well as Woodson. I truly, we need this secondary to step it up. We need them to step it up, and I think they will as well. I think offensively, we see a lot of big changes. I don't think you're going to see 45 passing attempts, 45, 46, whatever it was from Drake May. I don't think we see that. I think we see more of a balanced game, rushing attack, and I think Travion Henderson, you're going to see him with the ball much, much more. Listen, I rarely drink, but when I do, I don't bounce back like I used to. And so when I'm watching a game with the guys, I have to decide, do I want to have one drink or am I not going to? But that has changed with Z-Biotics. You're probably wondering, what makes Z-Biotics pre-alcohol so special? Well, hear me out. Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's a buildup of this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for rough days after drinking. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's simple. Just remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you're feeling your best the next day. I took Z-Biotics for the first time last weekend watching college football with the guys. It was super simple. All I had to do, drink one Z-Biotic, and then drink responsibly. I had one, maybe two drinks, and then guess what? The next morning felt normal. It was great. I got to take the kids everywhere they needed to go, got to do yard work. The wife was happy about that. It was fantastic. And we know fall's right around the corner. That means football, and football. So guess what? Drink a pre-alcohol Z-Biotic before you drink responsibly during those games, and guess what? You'll be feeling normal the next day. So this is all you got to do. Go to zbiotic.com/STP. Get 15% off your first order. Again, zbiotic.com/STP. And guess what? If you're not satisfied, 100% money back guaranteed. So again, zbiotic.com/STP. 15% off. Don't miss out. So again, comment below, what are your thoughts going into this game? Are you hitting the panic button that Christian Gonzalez is not playing? What are your thoughts on Keon White? You might be, whatever, but would love to hear from you. Again, not ideal, not great, but let's not forget, Dolphins are dealing with a lot of injuries that I think we will take advantage of, and that happens to be very, very beneficial for our defense, which is great. So comment below, tell me what you think from there. Last but not least, we jump into the Vegas odds. Love jumping into these. As of right now, you have Patriots plus 101, Dolphins 120. Really, it's a flip of the coin spread. Dolphins minus 1.5. So you're talking half of a field goal, and then total points scored 43 points. Honestly, I think that over under the 43 is probably about spot on based on how they played last week. And so we will see what happens. Again, always explaining the odds. Plus 101 means I bet $100. I would win $101 on top of getting my money back. Minus 120 means I have to bet 120 to win $100. Obviously, getting my money that I bet as well back. So it's basically Vegas is looking at this as, hey, it's kind of a dead tie based on how we are looking at it, how we view it based on all of our algorithms and all that fun stuff they have. So what do you think? You think this is pretty realistic? I really want to hear your take as we march forward towards this game on Sunday. Again, obviously it's Friday. We still got Saturday. But give me your predictions below. And you guys know on Saturdays, I always drop my prediction video. Maybe Sunday morning, we'll see. But looking at what I think will happen in the game, drop some bold predictions. It's always fun. Makes it a little more exciting. But what do you think moving forward? Or what do you think in this game? What do you think is a realistic score? Even if you're looking at the spread of 43, what are your thoughts? Again, I think, as I said, it's a must-win game. Every game is a must-win game. Go out there and win the game. But looking at this, I truly think the scale tips in the favor of the Patriots. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I thought that last week as well. And the Patriots had opportunities. They just squandered them. Defense did well in a lot of areas. Offense had their moments, but, squashed opportunities. We can't leave points on the table. We can't go 3 and out. We can't go a drive or 2 or 5 or 6 plays and then punt the ball. We got to get the ball up the field. We got to get points. Red zone, 3 trips, only 1 successful touchdown. We got to get points on the board. Simple as that. Issues were the same last year. Hopefully this is just an issue at the beginning of the year that we can move forward and kind of grow out of. That is my hope. Again, let's not forget Josh McDaniels is the offensive coordinator, and the man has talent. The man has a resume, a beautiful resume. So tell me what you think. Would love to hear from you guys. Score predictions, any bold predictions of this game in Miami against the Dolphins. Comment below. Would love to hear from you guys. That being said, we will talk later. Peace.